sound great. All go, no wait. Champion, no debate. First place, go play. Humble.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Humble Greatness in the building.
Let's go.
And man, we got another great podcast episode about to happen.
Yes.
I'm with somebody extremely special, man. I'm going to go ahead and let him introduce himself. Go ahead.
Oh, what's going on, y'all? So if y'all don't remember back from the old IIYE videos, right?
Ooh, man, come on.
J.E., right? What's going on? This is Justin Enlow.
Absolutely.
And, bro, I'm just a guy, so let's go. Just Enlow, let's go.
We got some stuff that we're just going to talk about. So, man, thank you guys for tuning in, man. And we're just going to dive right into it.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
So, man, I haven't seen you in a long time.
Man.
I haven't seen you in a long time. I know that as we get older, we get ridiculously busy.
Married, kids, work life, you know
all
what
of
I'm saying?
that.
Bro, all of it.
So what we're going to do is we're actually going to talk about all of that, man.
Man, let's bring it to the table, man.
So let's talk about first how we met.
Yes.
Because we're like,
yes, bro.
let's jumpstart that so that the people know. So early 20s.
Yes.
Right?
What about mid-20s?
Mid-20s. So I'm going to let Justin take it. I'm going to kind of...
Bro, it was at Townie Small, man. You remember?
We met at Townie?
Yes.
I don't even remember that.
Bro, no. It was,
I don't.
Bro, it was at Townie Small. I think they was doing like some kind of like competition or whatever.
The little like, modeling showcase.
Yes. Bro, we went way back on that one. And it's like, man, like as soon as like we hit up, because I was like doing like some kind of dancing ordeal.
Yeah.
And you were rapping.
Yeah.
So we was like from there, it was just pretty much like, yo, let's connect, man. Bro, you remember that?
Yes. I remember because I remember seeing your pictures because they did like some picture package and I was like, man, he got some dope photos. I remember that.
Bro.
I do remember that. So we met there and then, man, we basically kind of just stuck together, man, fed off of each other.
Conversation, bro, man. Like, and then from there, we both realized that, you know what I'm saying, we had love for God.
Absolutely.
We had the same values. That was I think that was like the glue right there. Like we had the same values set. And then from there, man, like, bro, and the talent, bro. You remember?
Yeah, man, we did very well. We were. I think the thing is, you know, when you want to be successful, you want to put yourself around like-minded people.
That's it.
So I just think we were so like-minded as like, man, if we're gonna do something, we're gonna do it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And be 100% about it, man.
Absolutely.
And that's, I mean, if you go back to our videos, you go back to like the nights that we did at what was that, Believers Tabernacle, bro? You remember that?
Come on, man. Come on.
Bro, it was just like, I mean, but the commitment was there, man. We did a lot of great things, and you know, from that, man, bro, like I said, I mean, that's a brother, man, bro. I remember when we first came up with as far as IYE, man.
That was wild.
Bro, I remember that,
man.
bro.
Wild. So now, man, fast forward, 10?
Bro, it's been a decade.
12, 15 years?
Let's go,
man. Yeah, we got to probably fast forward to where we're at now, 10 plus years.
Bro, yeah.
And so let's talk about that, man. Let's talk about your relationship. Let's talk about the kids. Let's talk about all of that. Because I have questions for you, man. Like, I have one daughter.
Yeah.
She's 7.
Yes. Phenomenal age.
You have
4.
Yes. Like, when I hear 4, I'm like, I don't even know how. Like, I have 1 and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? But 4, man, how do you manage that? And then let's talk about your wife too, because your wife being the glue and
man,
you know
she's
what I'm
the
saying,
queen, man.
Stuff together.
She's the queen.
So talk about being a black father, man, like for real.
Bro, I'll tell you what. And it's unique too, because you know my older ones are mixed. So you know what I'm saying? So
let's talk about that.
So there's like this unique dynamic where, you know what I'm saying, the older two, you know what I'm saying, the experiences that they have and the type of lessons and principles you got to give them compared to my 2 black sons. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's totally different dynamic. But here's the thing though, you know what I'm saying, you asked me how I manage it.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about value system. So in our family values, there is no difference. You know what I'm saying? It's all we all invest into one another. We make sure that we're conversation And look, here's the thing. I'm not afraid to have the ugly conversation.
Yeah, come on, man.
You know I'm not afraid to confront, situations. My kids don't like it. My queen sometimes don't even care for it. You know what I'm saying? But you know what though? Like it creates strength.
Absolutely.
It kind of creates a core within our family that we do never depart. So you know what I'm saying? It's the reason why we can sit there all day with each other and enjoy one another. You know what I'm saying? Because we've already, seen the good, the bad, the ugly, and after all that is said and done,
yeah,
the investment is there. We can ride with each
But
other.
see, you said something just now that's powerful. You said we can sit down and enjoy each other.
Yes.
Like we're not just, I feel like a lot of marriages or people who I talk to, right? Because I can only talk from my experience.
Right.
They're just existing.
Roommates.
So when you say,
Roommates.
so when you say enjoying, bro, that's a different level of like togetherness.
Intimacy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, and again, it goes back to as far as like, for us, like when me and my wife got married, we had to learn how to define what that family was going to be like, what our family is going to be like.
Absolutely.
That's the thing that when you're husband and wife, and this is kind of talking about to the as far as the husbands out there, man, it's kind of like that whole dynamic. You know what I'm saying? When you're in the car and you're trying to figure out where to eat, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that can start arguments,
bro.
For weeks.
But it's like it's something about, you know what I'm saying, when you already have an answer. I mean, we can go ahead and go through all the doctrine, we can go through all the theories, we can go through all that, but at the end of the day, it's you and me, and it's like, and together. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to fight this thing together. So if we're gonna fight this thing, let's create an offense, let's create a strategy, let's create a vision, let's create all those things together, because by doing that, man, that's when you start seeing the fruit of your labor.
Ooh.
Bro, let's go, man.
This dude knows what he's talking about. So let's talk about this. What are the age ranges kids are?
Okay, so we got 16. One's going to be turning 15 here
now,
soon.
16 is...
my daughter.
Correct.
Yeah, so 15, my oldest son. 7, and we got 3.
Any more coming?
No.
Not done. No. Done. So you have a huge age gap between the 16 and then 3.
Yes.
So what is it like being in a household with that? Like, what is the 16 and the 15-year-old's role?
So for them, and because we have split custody between those two, our goal with them is just to make sure that we have a vision for them. So, when we get to talking about as far as our future plans, obviously me and my wife, we're entrepreneurs, right?
Correct.
So for them, like we're at the age that they're at, we're kind of already sewing them into what their life looks like, after they graduate high school.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not big on my kids going to college. If they're going to go to college, I'd rather them invest in something that's going to expand the family vision as opposed to just trying to recreate their will and such.
So let's go right there.
I'm
gonna attack that point.
That's it right there.
So what's the deal with college, man?
So I mean, because I went to college. I mean, got my bachelor's and I got my master's, right?
Okay.
And it's crazy because
in what?
So I got my bachelor's in sociology,
and
I got my master's in finance.
Okay.
So what's unique about going to school is that you're going to learn a whole bunch of theories and such, but you know what I'm saying, like it teaches you how to become an employee. And
100%.
I think for me, like, you know what I'm saying, maybe it's just because of the exposure I received when I was younger, but you know what I'm saying, like I took that information and I learned how to leverage that so I can kind of create something on my own. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, this is what brought me and my wife together. I told her that I have a vision for, our grandkids to be blessed.
Yeah.
And our grandkids getting blessed is not going to be us working 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? So, for us, we've had to do some, unique decisions. We had some unique decisions that we had to make. Right. Yes, we did some soul searching. Had some, moments with Jesus, right? But, we got to a point where now, like, things are starting to be fruitful. We're starting to see things starting to get, starting to find balance. And, now we're starting to see that clarity of that vision start even more so. But as far as the college, like, I tell my kids, like, when I first went to school, I did what everybody else was doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just went with the flow, right?
Correct.
With my kids, I've learned that, what I tell my kids is that I want you to have a moment where you stop and think about what you want to do before you follow before everybody else.
Okay.
So for my daughter, you know what I'm saying, she's about to approach it. We've been sewing into her, like, look, just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean it's right for you. Because at the end of the day, those people are not going to pay your bills. Those people are not going to, help you in your relationships. They're not going to do all that, right? Because they're going to be about that life as well too there, right? So for me, if you're going to do this, have the moment and just got to focus on right now. You know what I'm saying? And figure out what you want to be. And then once you've got to that point, now you start defining, your own life pattern. And for me, college right now, for her, like, I'm in commercial real estate. So, we've talked about her going into real estate. Wichita State got a really good real estate program. Shout out to Wichita State. Okay. Wichita State. She wants to go to school for business. And, I'm kind of back and forth on that because the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of business on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Yes. You can learn a lot just from on YouTube. Come on, man.
Absolutely.
Because here's the thing. It's one thing if you have information. It's a whole nother thing if you have transformation in your life. Bro.
Okay. Bro. Let's talk about
Let's not get caught up. Let's when it comes to our mental banks, let's not fill it up with a bunch of information. I want to create wealth, and the way you create wealth is you use that information to transform yourself to get you to where you want to be at. And so when I say that I don't really care for my kids going to college, I don't want them to have a bunch of information, because I know cats who are making, $200,000 and have all these titles, but guess what?
Bro,
they're not happy about the lives that they're living. It's to me,
paycheck to paycheck with 200,000.
Yes, 40% of people, 40% of people making $200,000 living paycheck to paycheck. And here's the thing about that, even that paycheck to paycheck lifestyle. I mean, like, even then, you're not happy, Yeah. So for me, like, I've really been sawing into my kids. Like, I remember growing up, all I used to hear is sometimes you're going to do things in life that you don't want to do, that you have to do it anyway.
Correct. Absolutely.
I'm not about that. I hated that statement from the moment I was young. So for me, you should live your life according to your yeses. You should live your life according to your no's. And that's it.
And that's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you do? What is your profession?
So again, I'm in commercial real estate.
Okay. And then what does your wife do?
So my wife, she actually does. She's a multiple things, right? Okay. So I mean, but I'm gonna basically say that she's like, when it comes to consulting for businesses to be at the highest optimal performance. I mean, she's there.
Damn.
I mean, case in point, like, she's taking a restaurant right now, and I mean, the restaurant was, it was sitting okay at one restaurant, but because of the structure she's been able to put into it, they're now going to be able to expand it to 3.
Man, that's amazing.
So
that's awesome.
And I'm able to help in that process.
That's a gift.
It is.
That's a gift,
it is. I mean, what I'm saying? Like, so, when it comes to her and I, like, I like to say that her and I, like, are that, that couple you go to for economic,
absolutely. So what were you doing? So you're in commercial real estate now?
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about your path as far as, job wise.
Yes.
Because we're talking like now, like, okay, I understand that you're doing what you want to do.
Right.
But let's talk about the little steps that it took to really
so,
get
what I'm saying? So I feel like it started in car sales. I remember, there was a table. I was like, making my phone calls and such. And I remember being at a table, still watching these, like, the owner of the car.
Working for a dealership at this time.
Yeah, working at a car dealership at the time. And I remember it was the owners of the car dealership sitting at this table. And I remember sitting back in the cut, was like, looking at that. And I'm like, man, easy. If they put their whole net worth on that table, bro, we're talking about millions, hundreds of millions, bro. Absolutely. So I'm like, man, I'm in the wrong business. And then it was crazy. This is another unique situation. I remember reading that Warren Buffett, he studies for 40 hours a week. I work 40 hours a week.
Yeah, exactly.
He's one of the richest people in as far as the United States.
Correct.
I'm like, he makes in 1 second what I make in 1 year, bro. Like, something's messed up about that, right? So, so when I remember that moment, I remember that was the moment that I was like, okay, I need to change some things in my life. Now, was that overnight? Oh no. Because after the car sales, I got a taste of, I was working at one where there was no commission, and then I worked at another car dealership where it was 100% commission. And that was unique to me because, like, I had to learn how to, like, make ends meet. I had to go out and work. I had to go out and make those phone calls. I had to put myself in uncomfortable situations just so I could go ahead and make sure that my family was taken care of, right? It was not easy, right?
Understand.
So from there, that was the time that my kids were starting to get, like, like, our family would start getting stronger there. So from there, I went to worked at a cellular store. And bro, I mean, I was there, you know what I'm saying? Like I saw the operational side of the business.
Correct.
And then from there, bro, like I pulled a page out of Gary Vaynerchuk book.
Okay.
I found no offense, but
shout out to Gary.
Yes. I found the dumbest job I could find so I can use more of my mind space to focus on what I wanted to do.
Well,
and bro, I tell you what a lot of people say about COVID and stuff, I mean, hey, shots out, I mean, my sincerest go to all the people that were impacted by that there.
Absolutely.
But March 2020, that was my launch. We quit the job.
Yeah.
We, quit our jobs. We, sold our house, and we start putting this to work. And bro, ever since then, launch.
That's what happened to me. I went full time in the entertainment business during COVID. Same thing.
Let's go, man.
It's the best decision that that I ever made.
Yes.
So with all of that, so commercial real estate, like you said, that's what you're doing right now.
Right.
Can you see this being like the forever deal?
I see this being like I still see this as a forever deal because, I mean, it's still really easy. I mean, it's a passion of mine to really help businesses really, like excel, exceed expectations. Mm-hmm. That's one thing there, but, my path is where I want to go to. I mean, this is still just the beginning, I mean, I still look at myself as far as wanting to become an investor. I see that as far as the needs of our community. Mm-hmm. We need more investors. We need more people that have the capital to work with to kind of sow into as far as other, communities, other businesses and such. And then, of course, I want to make sure that I'm able to invest in my kids' futures as well, too. There, so I mean, absolutely. there is a sense of freedom that I would like to have, and I'll kind of have this principle that you're free when you're able to make the decisions that you want to make in life.
100%, absolutely, man. That's a big deal because what I hear from you is, first of all, you're educated. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to be.
Like you know what's going on because even earlier in the conversation, you're talking about. I needed to find something to transform my way of thinking, really. Yes. If I want to live this way, then I have to learn something different. And school, for you, it is going to teach you some things, right? I don't want to just blast school like,
there is respect.
Man, don't go, you don't have to go. But there's other ways of making money. In the age that we're at, I'm 34, right?
Right.
So
I'm knocking on 40, a couple more years.
There you go. So we've seen the internet literally come from like nothing into a beast what it is now. Like, bro, you could literally log into your phone and make money.
You can, bro. And it's funny because like now I'm even teaching my 7-year-old that, because he wants to go on his iPad and just play games. I was like, bro, son, you can make those games yourself. Yeah. When I showed him the keys, when I gave him the keys on how, like how Minecraft was created and all that stuff, man, it transformed him.
Yeah, for sure.
It wasn't, and I think that's the thing like we have to do is we have to learn to stop consuming everything that we have in our hands, but learn how to look at that thing that we have in our hands as leverage.
Absolutely.
Bro, that's
powerful, man.
Bro.
I like the fact that you're teaching your kids like early. You know what I mean?
Bro.
Rather than just being like, it is what it is.
Right.
Just get out there, just kind of do whatever. But man, I hear from the conversation that we've had. I hear that you're leading, man, and that's you don't have a boss's mentality because bosses are like, hey man, you need to do this.
Leaders
are like,
try to enslave you.
Yeah, leaders are like, hey, this is what's worked for me.
Right.
So I'm just going to hand it down to you. And then hopefully it works for you as well.
I've learned that instead of my reputation, it's my legacy. It's my kids.
Powerful.
That's the most powerful aspect to it. I mean, that's what life is really for.
Come on.
If you try to build your own name, you try to build your own legacy, I mean, your reputation, bro, that's only going to take you so far. You may get at the end of that, you may get your name on a building. Right?
Yeah, maybe an RIP shirt or something.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? For me, like I want these principles that I've learned, I want to live through my kids. So I put my investment not so much into myself, but I put my investment into my kids because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
That's awesome, man. That's really great. So, I'm gonna touch on this point, man.
Let's go.
Your faith, man. Let's talk about that because right now, man, we're in a conversation that's really great, but you know, there's always something what is the glue? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so when we were off air, you know, before this, he was talking about his face. So I really want you to talk about that, man.
Yeah. So for me, faith to me right now, I mean, gosh, let me put it like this.
Yeah, come on.
You have to be fully convinced and fully committed to the vision or to whatever God has given you.
Yeah.
You have to. You cannot afford distractions. So for me, those distractions, I mean, I'm gonna bring it out to the table, man. Yeah, sometimes church can be a distraction.
Let's talk about that.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about that.
Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, the busyness of, you know what I'm saying, of all those things can be a distraction. And I say that respectfully because the thing is, you know, I can continue to focus on somebody else's like desire and vision for the, you know, what they would like to go and see happen. But, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, I'm losing that time to invest in my kids. I don't have a calling on my life to, you know what I'm saying, to own a church.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? My number one ministry is my family.
Absolutely.
And if I'm being taken away from that, you know what I'm saying, I have a responsibility for that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I have to be very intentional about what I am doing. And if there's opportunities to share that, you know what I'm saying, that those principles with other individuals, I'm going to be about that life 100% there. But my number one objective and responsibility is to my family, because the thing is, I cannot rely on anybody. No one else is going to do that for me.
You're right,
bro. I mean, and like I said, I still give, you know what I'm saying, credit where credit is due. Don't like I said, let's not get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I've just learned about when it comes to faith, you have to be fully convicted and fully convinced. You have to be fully committed to as far as the manifestation of the vision that God has given you.
Yeah.
If you allow distractions to come into the way, I'm not saying that they can't put you back in the right, you know what I'm saying, as far as order, but man, I'm telling you, you're making your life so much more easier if you just be obedient. And sometimes that's going to make decisions that are not so much popular to, as far as, you know, to social.
We know about that.
Yeah. To the status quo right there. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's how I feel about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, I've always been that way, man.
Yeah.
I'm going against the grain.
Yes,
like,
yes.
But
see, that's the part though that, you know what I'm saying, like where your faith has to come through at. 100%. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, again, I'm going back to as far as my what I've been telling my daughter about going to college. You can't go through life doing what everybody else is doing.
Yeah. I
mean, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're responsible for yourself. And if you don't have no one else to blame, there's no, you can't play the victim. Like, your circumstances are wholly on your decisions.
Yeah, you're responsible for you at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, you're responsible for
fingers,
you. So
man.
like whatever consequences, you cannot blame that on anybody else but yourself, because you made a decision. So with that, you know what I'm saying, like, it goes back to, again, being fully committed, being fully convinced about the thing that God gave you.
That's awesome, man.
So,
man, J.E.
Bro, let's go. Already, bro.
Man, I just want to applaud you, man. Like, for real,
bro. Man, we in this together, man.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, man. See, this
we in this together, man, bro.
It's a true friendship, man. Is when you really lock in with somebody. You know what I'm saying? But y'all can be away for a while, but man, you come back and it's still like you never left.
That brotherhood, man. That's that brotherhood.
And also understanding, like, yo, we're busy.
Right. Honestly, you know what the thing is though, and that's probably one of the biggest things. Probably the biggest things I've learned throughout my 30s. You know, like, you know, because your friendships back when you were in your 20s.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all was together every single time. Right. But when you get to your 30s, like when you talk about family, when you talk about as far as growing and as far as being a contributor instead of a consumer, like when you get to that point, like you realize that. No, we may not meet each other frequently, but you know what I'm saying? Like when we do meet though,
it's going down.
Oh, bro, it's going down for real. You know what I'm saying? Because now there's a lot more that we can store into each other's lives.
Absolutely.
Like that. You know what I'm saying? Like just even what you've been sharing with me about how you got into the entertainment industry going full time, bro. Sure. You got this going on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, absolutely. Bro, I would say that you've been one of the more pivotal people in my life, because you always had this, you know what I'm saying, let's go mentality. Like, let's keep it 100. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing stopping us.
And now, I mean, that comes from, just throwing it back on me real quick, man. That comes from, I want to say, man, my dad, you know what I'm saying? My dad being 30, man, my dad did 30 years in the military.
Yes, sir.
Right? So his mentality was always, if we're going to do this, then we're going to do this.
Right.
Like, if we're going to do this, we're going to be the best at it.
Yes. And that's what it takes to be the best. Like I said, that's just that full commitment.
Absolutely.
And that's why I say, like, you know, like when I say let's go, like, you know what I'm saying? I tell my kids, it's funny because I got my 7 and 3-year-old saying that. It's so hilarious, man. It's so hilarious. But, you know, it's the mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you think about it, like, what's stopping you? And the thing is, like, bags or no bags, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still going to move forward.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, again, you know what I'm saying? Life is about living it, not about drowning in it.
Not
you know
about,
what I'm saying?
Yeah, come on, man.
Come on, bro.
That's powerful. So, I mean, at the end of the day, man, we're going to tell all the viewers, man, if you're not happy with where you're at, you have to believe, man, that you can really change this.
You have
like,
to. You have to.
We're
you have to.
I like bringing people on the show, you know what I'm saying? Because I want you guys to see, like, we're not anybody special.
Right.
And I tell people that all the time. They're like, man, you have this. I'm just the dude that just outworked everybody.
I'm just a guy.
That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was always the person who was trying to get the information.
Right.
So when I was young, you know what I'm saying, I graduated high school in Atlanta, Georgia, right?
ATL.
And so I was in Atlanta when Atlanta was popping.
Right.
So like I'm in high school and like Crime Mob drops like Nuck If You Buck. You know what I'm saying? Like T.I. was out there. Like,
Ludacris.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Luda was out there. Like I saw like Atlanta when it was really blowing up.
Right.
So I remember, you know, going downtown, you know what I'm saying, and seeing, you know, rappers on the rise and things like that. And man, they would have all this jewelry and stuff on. And I'm the dude that's like, man, how do you get there?
Right, right.
How much does that cost? How, like, what do I need to do? Just to kind of pick people's brains. Never was one to hate.
Right.
I'm not finna hate. I just want to know how you did it.
Right,
so I can see if that's really the lifestyle that I want.
And if it's really what it is designed to be. Like, you're portraying something, but I want to know if it's real. You know what I'm saying?
So, you know, getting in there, getting in with conversations, the accessibility of artists at the time.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Being able to really connect. And that changed my whole mindset about the entertainment business. I was like, yeah, man, I want to do this, but I know that I can do this and be successful at it.
Right.
And eventually I can call my own shots. I can kind of create my own thing.
That's it. That's it. And I mean, and I'll go as far as saying that, like, you have something that's yours. I mean, I'm starting to see a lot of these artists right now that, you know, saying they're talking about how their whole lives have been changed, their families have been changed when they started owning their masters and things of that
Come
sort.
on, man, yeah,
bro. And it's so, I mean, understanding it's a business, and just again, it goes back to that mentality that I'm not going to be a consumer of everything that's given for me. Mm-hmm. No, I'm going to be a contributor and learn how to create something on my own. Mm-hmm. And I feel like what you've done with Humble Greatness, what you did with IYE, bro, that was all things that you created, man. And I mean, again, if you believe in yourself, bro, man, the outcome
can happen, man.
Bro, so it goes back to that statement, man. Like, if you want to change, bro, you can change.
Absolutely.
You just gotta be committed to it.
Absolutely, man.
Good, bad, and ugly.
Man, I appreciate my boy J.E., man, being here with us.
Always.
On another episode of Humble Talks. Hey, man, you guys tap in. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, man. Share this video with somebody.
Yes.
And yeah, man, we going to be back with some more episodes, man. Justin Enlow, thank you so much for your time.
Alrighty, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
You take care, bro. Man. All right, y'all.